Welcome. Today we are going to talk about an important tool that will aid in moving information from your online auction site over to your ShoWorks 2020 fair file. ShoWorks Agent Auction Monitor is something new that was created this year. It's a tool that puts the ability for you to move that information straight from the online site to your fair file without having to wait. It is something that is on demand right then and there. You don't have to wait for us. You don't have to wait for your auction to be over or your add-ons to be over. You can do it right then and there. This is clerking real time in your hands. This is something that is separate that you will need to install and have running in the background. However, like I said, it'll move that information from the internet and integrate with ShoWorks 2020 to have that information straight into your fair file. Some of the prerequisites that are needed in order to run the program, these need to be in place prior to using the program, prior to downloading the program. You'll need to have a computer that's running at least Microsoft Office 2013. You'll need ShoWorks 2020 version 20.4.0. This version will have the provision auction button under the cloud module in your ShoWorks 2020 fair file. If you do not have that button, you will need to make sure that you update your version to this version. You will also need an up-to-date web browser. We suggest Chrome. It is not a requirement to use Chrome. Chrome just seems to work the smoothest. You'll need 8 gigabytes of memory or more. And then you'll need administrative permissions on your computer to install and run the program. Having those administrative permissions is really important. If you do not have those permissions, such as you have to go through an IT department, you have to go through a higher power or anything like that, you'll want to make sure that you get ahead of all of this and get this squared away as soon as possible. Some of the critical pieces of using this program, you'll need the fair file. This fair file should be your master file. It'll be the file that, if you have a network, is shared to all the other computers. This will be the original file that you will use for the whole fair season. You'll have a designated file path for your fair file. If your file is on your desktop, it'll have a file path starting with a C. If you are on a network drive or a server or anything like that, it'll have a different letter, such as a Z drive. And then you'll need to know your fair ID. Jumping right into some of the things that kind of flow through Auction Monitor, we're going to cover buyer-related data, things that move over to the online auction from ShoWorks 2020 via the provision button. So this means that you put all this information into your fair file and you are ready to push that over to your online site. Maybe you have a buyer list that was from previous last year that you want to go ahead and update online. That will come over with the provision button. Destinations will also move over with the provision button. Anything that's updated regarding your destinations or an updated buyer or a newly added buyer in your ShoWorks 2020, those will come over with your provision button. It's important that you understand, though, that any information that you change in your ShoWorks 2020 fair file will not automatically update in the online site. You do need to provision. There is no automatic move over. You will need to click that button. Now moving back over from the online auction site through ShoWorks Agent Auction Monitor, buyers that are added, which means that you guys went in and you added a buyer through your online admin site, or you helped a buyer log into the online auction site and register themselves. Those will automatically flow over to your ShoWorks 2020 fair file as long as ShoWorks Agent and Auction Monitor is open. It's important that you also understand that if a buyer is deleted in the online admin site, So you went in, you logged into your admin site, you went to the list of buyers, and you deleted a buyer out for whatever reason, you will still need to go into your ShoWorks 2020 fair file and delete that same buyer. That will not be updated. If you delete a buyer in the online site, it will not delete them out of your ShoWorks 2020 fair file through ShoWorks Agent and Auction Monitor. So you will need to delete them in both places. All right, so some of the buyer transactions that will get moved over via Auction Monitor, any add-ons created or deleted in the online auction site or in the online admin site, those will automatically move over and update as long as ShoWorks Agent and Auction Monitor are open. At that time, it'll just automatically flow. You don't have to push anything over. I will say that you, as the fair, have the opportunity to give your buyers the opportunity to delete any add-ons that they have placed through their login portal in the online auction site. So should you choose to give them that option, it just means that your buyers can go online. If they accidentally place an add-on on lot number 2 and they meant to place it on lot number 20, they can go into their cart and delete the add-on placed for lot number 2. And anytime that happens, it'll automatically update into the fair file. Much like add-on transactions, consortium bids are the exact same way. Anything that's those that are added or deleted in the online admin site, those will automatically flow over and update as long as ShoWorks Agent and Auction Monitor is open. Competitive bids are a little different. As of right now, competitive bids that are created in the online site, if a buyer wins that lot, or in the admin site, if you are clerking through the spotter tool and you mark a lot sold, those have the ability to flow over from the online site over to your ShoWorks 2020 fair file. However, if you mark that lot sold, if you change who the winning buyer is, if you change the destination, if you add any destination notes in ShoWorks Auction, so in the online site, you will need to push latest bid updates in the Auction Monitor module in your admin site. Basically, what that means is it's still going to move over via Auction Monitor. You just have to push a button to force those over. We made sure that is in place just for a safety net. This will send over all the data tied to all winning bids. It will override any changes that might have been made in the ShoWorks 2020 fair file. So you just want to make sure that you're doing it in one place. And then lastly, from the online site, any payments that are made by a buyer in the online site, they paid for their add-ons online, they paid for their winning bids online, those will automatically flow over when ShoWorks Agent and Auction Monitor is open. Any of the fair fees associated with those payments will not be included. So if they paid the online gateway fee, those are not going to be included whenever they come across. If they paid an overarching fee, that will not be included. You will have to create a mirrored fee percentage in your fair file for that to reflect. Transactions and payments that are originating from ShoWorks 2020, which would mean that anything that is handed to you and you have hand entered into your ShoWorks 2020 fair file, those will never be added to the ShoWorks auction website. Even if you provision, those will not come over. So it's also important to note that as well. Looking at lot related data, so this is entry lots. These will come over to the online auction via the provisioning tool in your ShoWorks 2020 fair file. Information that will move over and apply to those lots will be anything regarding your entries. So the win ID, the auction designation, what type of lot it is. If you do a buy now type sale, that'll come over. Any special placing, descriptions, all of that good stuff will come over. The exhibitor name and notes will come over. Any divisions that you've placed on those entries, those lots will come over, and then any sale adjustments that you may have attached to those divisions, those will come over as well. It's important to note that the invoice number, not the sale number, but the invoice number is what serves as the lot number in the online site. So we typically tell people to match their sale to match their invoices. So if you have a steer that is first in sale, go ahead and match your invoice number to be number 1. That way they show up correctly in the online site. And then the unit price, such as the minimum bid, that will also appear online for that specific invoice. Also important, fees regarding flooring will not move over to the online site. So if it is a floored lot, if you guys do a whole lot of flooring, just let it be known that those who are floored, those lots that are floored and sold like that, those will need to be handled and billed in ShoWorks 2020. We do not have the ability to bill those out of the online auction site because it is floored. Now looking at the transaction data, again, this is just information that is created in the online site that'll go over to your ShoWorks 2020. These will apply to the sale invoices. So these will apply straight to those lots. You can look up and say, oh, well, lot 1, let's see what they've got going on. Things that'll automatically move over, the add-ons and consortium bids will come over automatically as long as ShoWorks Agent and Auction Monitor is open. Anything added or deleted will update. Those add-ons and consortium bids will apply to the sale invoice, and that information will update as needed. Information that'll show in those sale invoices will be buyers. If it was an add-on, it'll show a little check mark as to whether it was an add-on. It'll show how much was applied, any destination and destination notes, and then in regards to flooring, it will show if it was a floored lot or not. Competitive bids, again, that will come across at the push latest bid updates button in the Auction Monitor module. And as long as ShoWorks Agent and Auction Monitor is open, anything added or information that is updated will apply to the sale invoice, just like add-ons and consortiums. And it'll be the same deal. Who won it, how much it was won for, destination notes. And then if that lot was floored, it will show if it was floored or not. Images. We get this question quite frequently about how images works. Any images and videos that were loaded into FairVault via online entries, those videos and images, those will move over to the online auction. At the time, after you've provisioned, you'll log into your admin site and you'll have the opportunity to go into the Fair Setup module, click on Images and Videos, and then there's going to be a button that says Reload All. When you click those, all those images and videos will be pulled from FairVault into your online site and they will show online. If you feel like you're missing any images or videos, if you added a new entry and you moved it over from your Fair file over to the online site, anything like that, you can click Reload All and those will populate as long as there are images and videos to populate. And you can do that as frequently as you would like. Looking up at setting up ShoWorks Agent, we have a knowledge base article in our knowledge base about ShoWorks Agent. There is a step-by-step walkthrough of how to download and set up. However, I would like to just walk through a quick process of how to do this. Once you have downloaded ShoWorks Agent and you've opened it up, you'll see a window like this. Once it's open, you'll want to click on Install Driver Packages. A secondary window is going to pop up. This window is just gonna push information through. There's nothing that you will need to touch. It'll just push through the download process, and then at the very end, it'll tell you that it was successful or not. And to push any key, once you do that, that window will close. Once you've gone through the install process and that window is closed, then you'll want to configure your settings in ShoWorks Agent. In order to have a successful configuration, this is where you need to know your fair ID, and you need to know where your ShoWorks 2020 fair file is located on your computer for this year. And again, that ShoWorks 2020 file will be the one that you are going to use for this year. It'll be your master file. Once you click on Configure Settings, this window will pop up. You'll want to enter your fair ID, and then you'll click Select File. This window is going to pop up, and this is where you're going to go and you're going to search for your fair file. So if it's on your desktop, you'll look at your desktop and find your fair file. If it's in a folder somewhere, you'll look there. If it's in a shared network, you'll go look there. And so you'll just want to go and click and find it, and then you'll want to click Open. Once that has loaded into your configuration window, you'll click Save Changes. After a few minutes, a pop-up will appear, and it'll say that your configuration has been successful, and then you can just click OK on that pop-up. And then the Auction Monitor button will turn blue. That just means that at that time, you can now open Auction Monitor. You're configured successfully. You're good to go. You can go ahead and open it up. And so you'll open that up, and another secondary window will pop up. So at this point, you should have the ShoWorks Agent window open, and then you'll have the Auction Monitor dashboard open. It will show this dashboard. It's vital that you leave the dashboard, the Auction Monitor dashboard open, and the ShoWorks Agent window open at all times in order for that information to flow from online over to your ShoWorks 2020 fair file. If you have those closed, that information will not flow over. So it's super important that you leave those open. You're more than welcome to minimize those windows. I know that they can kind of be cumbersome to keep looking at and taking up screen space. So you can definitely just close those out in a minimized fashion. Just don't completely close those. So that is going to be something that will pop up, and you'll leave that open. I do suggest taking a peek at it every once in a while just to see how information's rolling over. That way you can see what's happening. Alrighty, so that is the end of our presentation today. If you have any questions or would like a further demonstration or anything like that, please feel free to reach out to our team. You can reach us at support@showworkscloud.com. Our team is always happy to assist and to help you out. So if you have any questions, just let us know. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.